today's session is very, very important, very vital. In fact, today's session is can actually decide the fate for a lot of investors out there and potential non-investors too, or other potential investors who are currently non-investors. So what am I talking about? आज मैं discuss करने वाला हूँ uh, what is happening in the stock markets. There's so much volatility, and today I'll be talking about कि how what can you do to ensure कि you're able to ride through this volatility, because equity market में most लोग इसलिए नुकसान खाते हैं not because they don't understand investment, they don't learn how to manage volatility, because once you learn how to manage volatility everything else automatically becomes very easy. So आज इस वीडियो में we will be talking about that. I'll be giving you a simple method through which you can actually use it in such a way that you can always ensure that you are able to make money come what may, no matter whatever circumstance. So as you might be getting to know, there's a lot of noise, very different ambience behind me. I'm not in my office today. I'm on my birthday eve and I am celebrating it in the middle of a lake in a restaurant. But I made it a point that I don't miss this session, because this session could be the very difference for the fortunes or the misfortunes for a lot of people in the stock market. So let's get started with that. Just to give you a quick introduction, my name is Arpit Arora. I'm India's leading personal finance expert. I'm a passive income coach. I coach entrepreneurs and professionals how to manage their money, their wealth in such a way that they're able to create multiple sources of income. And the whole idea is that we stop working so hard for money. Because if you keep on working so hard for money, you will struggle all of your life. और आपको एक ऐसा सिस्टम चाहिए कि दैट यू आर एबल टू जनरेट एटलीस्ट अनदर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम. दिस अनदर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम is going to ensure that आपके lifestyle expenses, the way that you live, family expenses are taken care of, and what you get from your business, job or profession, all of that is something that you are working with passion, like you are absolutely passionate with that. So that is the whole idea why I do what I do, and I want to transform the way India manages and experiences personal finance. So on this quest, which is why I'm making this video, and I'm sure you're going to really benefit something out of this, so listen very carefully. So let's get started with our topic. The problem that I see is that, you know, a lot of people don't understand equity markets. उनको लगता है this is either an easy way of making money, or it is too hard, or it is, it requires a lot of knowledge, or it's too risky, or who has the time. These are the kind of, misconceptions people have. No, it's not easy. It requires a certain skill that you need to have, but the fun part is everyone has it in them. They just need to know what that skill is and use that skill. That's what I'll be telling you today. And not just that, another problem with that is that people mostly think negatively about equity markets ki ye satta hai. They think ki, equity markets is something that they have burned previously their hands into. So the whole reason why people have a bad experience with equity market, or you hear negative anything about equity market, is because of losses, right? And most of these losses maximum come into when the people go into futures and option trading. So that's one thing everyone should avoid. Futures and option trading is something that is actually, those instruments were created to help people hedge their existing positions. The true purpose of futures and options is that it is not to trade, but this is where most people don't understand. They want to quickly speculate and make money, end up losing their entire wealth and capital. So that's one thing to avoid in times when the volatility already is so high, and if you're trading in futures and options, 95 to 99% you're going to lose money, and you'll be competing against the biggest traders in the world. So there is absolutely very, very low chances that you eventually are going to make anything out of it. So avoid that, especially in volatile times like these. The second thing is, people who invest into shares or mutual funds, or managed funds for that matter. Here, if you're a long-term investor, you should be using this time to invest more, but invest in the right places. Most people, what they do is they invest into, stocks, like especially IT companies these days. They invest into that and later they wonder ki why are we making losses. Obviously you bought something which was way more than its true worth, its true valuation. You for sure are going to make losses, because Market as is that mechanism which always comes back to its fair value and discount. Always. So no matter IT का ज़माना हो, no matter कोविड हो, no matter जो भी हो रहा वर्ल्ड में, जो भी फिनोमिनन चल रहा है, everything will have a boom and a bust. So people invested in America, they invested in Netflix saying कि this is the time, this is the era of OTT. You'll be surprised to know that the value of Netflix is lower than what it was before the COVID fall started. So if it was at 100 rupees when COVID hit and it fell down and then it went up to, let's say, 300, now it's even below 100 rupees. So, and this is the same thing we're seeing in Nifty IT. It was almost 6% down today. A lot of people have been trapped into investment into IT investments. Why? Because they thought IT is the future, and now they invested into IT at high valuations. Market is coming down. IT is getting bigger hit because it was most overvalued. So the point I'm trying to make here is, if you don't understand the value of what you're investing in, if you're simply speculating that something is going up and it has future and it has a big bright future, and you're forgetting the valuation, then in the short term for sure you can expect कि you can very easily expect कि उसके price half भी हो सकता है, especially stocks में. You can even expect वो उसका 30% value रह जाएगा, which means a 70% loss is nothing surprising. Okay, so these are things one needs to be aware of. If this is the kind of volatility you cannot manage, you're not able to digest this, one should invest not into stocks but into indexes. So indexes like Sensex, Nifty, so these typically, rather than going 20%, 15% up and down, on max volatile days they'll go 4-5% up and down, which is also a very, very big deal. Like today the markets were down almost in the line of 3.5%. So that too is very big. Generally 1% movement in indexes per day is considered a big movement. But the amazing thing is that if you look at the indexes, the growth they've had over the last 20 years or longer term, if you look at that, you will see indexes are growing at more than 15%. So whatever fall that happens, it's a sure shot way of making more money. But the fall should not also be like that one fall comes, one dip comes and you put everything into it. You should have a mechanism that you're able to invest at her level as it comes down. As it comes down, you keep on investing and keep on investing. Which means that आपको एक money management system चाहिए इससे पीछे, which supports putting this money in. Because either you have such great cash flows that you every month or every week a fall happens, you're able to invest. Some people do it through SIPs, which is great. बट आपको अगर मार्केट से ज़्यादा रिटर्न चाहिए तो यू नीड टू थिंक ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग लमसम इनटू मेजर क्रैशेस, समथिंग लाइक दिस व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग राइट नाउ. तो इसके लिए यू नीड टू हैव अ एंटायर मनी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम दैट इफ यू डोंट हैव फ्रेश कैश फ्लोज कमिंग आपके बिजनेस से, जॉब से या प्रोफेशन से, यू नीड टू हैव a method through which you are able to very easily pull money from one asset and move into another. That is where you are able to play the money game on a very different level, and that is exactly what I coach people on. Ki how you are able to ensure that market crashes, you fall less than the market, and then you're able to gain more when the market goes back up, simply through allocation, moving your money from one asset into another. And that involves a lot of understanding of risk profile, a lot of understanding of journey of the investor, and it involves creating enough liquidity, it involves understanding the psychology of the investor and so many other things, getting to know the right valuation, when to enter, when to exit, and so many other aspects along involved with that. So the whole idea of sharing this is that do not get scared with the market crash. Understand ki what you have bought, if you've overbought something, this time this is the biggest lesson you can ever learn in life. By now you should at least be in the realization ki I bought something I did not understood the value of, now it is down. If your confidence is shaking, means you weren't sure of what you bought. And if you're absolutely sure what you bought, then you should be buying more. And if you're not able to, and me and my students were praying to God every day, when is the market going to crash, because we knew it is going to crash, we just didn't know when. So the whole idea of today's video was to help you understand how important money management is, how important knowing how much to at any given point of time. How will you buy the dip, right? You can't just be dependent on your cash flow. that you make from your business, job or your profession. So these are some very critical aspects to look at. I'm sure आज की वीडियो से आपको काफ़ी clarity मिली होगी इस पे. And if you have a question on this, if you're facing any issues with your portfolio, if you have a question on what should you do, what kind of circumstances you're in, don't hesitate. Ask me. So hit me in the comments, let me know if you like the video, if you understood the concept, need help on your portfolio. I'll be more than happy to answer, and looking forward to any questions that you have and helping you out with that. Take care. Bye bye now. Let's sign this off.